Air service will continue at Sioux Gateway Airport after the current airline filed a new proposed contract. Now, if it's accepted, the proposal would end the turbulence over the future of local air travel after more than a year of uncertainty. KTIV's Matt Hoffman reports.
SkyWest Airlines, which operates United's express service, plans to continue serving Sioux City. According to a city official, ending fears Sioux Gateway Airport could be without jet service for passengers. Assistant City Manager Mike Collette says SkyWest filed a proposal with the U.S. Department of Transportation to continue operations here in Sioux City.
They realize and acknowledge we have the demand here. The community needs to keep using the aircraft, obviously, and the service to maintain it, but they know that it's warranted.
The DOT previously rejected a bid from another airline, Boutique Air, because it wouldn't use jet engine aircraft. Boutique Air has filed a new proposal with routes to Omaha and/or Minneapolis, but the SkyWest bid is favored among the Airport Board of Trustees. Right now, service at Sioux Gateway Airport is subsidized by the Essential Air Service program.
To maintain the air service we have, the size of aircraft we have, Boutique's proposal did not maintain those same elements.
SkyWest's current contract is set to end March 31st, 2024. Collette says the new contract would be for 3 years, starting the day after the current contract expires. According to the proposal, SkyWest would receive a subsidy of over $4,600 each flight in year one of the new contract, decreasing to just over $4,200 in year three. That's just over $100 per passenger. Whether SkyWest decided to stay or go mostly came down to the company's own capacity. It was less about the city's wishes. In fact, if you take a look at the data, most of the flights that leave here from the Sioux Gateway Airport are booked or even sometimes overbooked. In Sioux City, Matt Hoffman, KTIV News 4.
The SkyWest proposal will be referred to the Sioux City City Council and then on to the U.S. Department of Transportation for the final approval.